Hi, welcome back. This is JF Tech Hub, and today we are going to talk about the hardware part of a computer. I know that we have already passed through it, but today we are going more in detail about this hardware part of a computer. The hardware part of computer are a lot. There are variety parts of a computer which are tangible, which are physical parts of a computer.
Commonly, we are going to focus with these four common hardware, which each computer or each device which is regarded as a computer possesses them.
Firstly, let us start with the output hardware part of a computer, which is the monitor. Monitor, this is the output part of a computer that display information to the user. The information displayed are in form of pictorial or in a textual format. We have two major categories of monitors. We have the former one, which we are used in previous years. That was the monitor which used the cathode ray tube. But we have the modern laptop or computers, they use the LCD screen with the backlight that use LED. So LCD, this is the liquid crystal display. It uses LED, which is light emitting diode, in order to display the information in a high definition or high quality.
Okay, let's discuss about keyboard. What is it for? Is one among the computer hardware. Okay, and the function of it is to enter data within the computer. We see computer hardware are categorized into four groups. You got devices responsible for entering data. Also, we have devices which are responsible just for output data, store data, also to process data. So, starting with input devices, here is the example of input devices within the computer, and it is responsible to enter data. And we see what is data. We say these are raw facts entered in a computer to be processed. And as I mentioned earlier, we have got a lot of types of data. We have text data, numerical data, symbolic data, and the keyboard is responsible to enter such kind of data. Okay, later on we will discuss more about these groups of keys within the keyboard. But the same to the laptop, with having keyboard here, with having the keyboard. This one is the keyboard of laptop integrated with other parts all together. We got virtual keyboard on touch screen here. In a smartphone, you got virtual keyboard. So common types of keyboard, we have number one, QWERTY keyboard. According to the arrangement of keys, that's why they name it as a QWERTY keyboard. It is standard keyboard, commonly used one. It having 104 to 106 keys on it. And also we have another types of keyboard that called ARSAT keyboard. These keyboard are mainly used in French speaking countries. Also we have Dvorak keyboard. Also we have virtual keyboard, on screen keyboard for touching devices like smartphone. It possesses that virtual screen. Some laptops which are having touch screen possess that virtual keyboard. And also we have wired keyboard. Based on the connectivity, we have wired keyboard and wireless keyboard. Those are the types of keyboard.
Okay, another component of computer hardware, it is mouse. Mouse is the small computer device that the user used to drag on the table or desk while pointing or selecting any item in a computer during operation. Why was it called mouse? This is due to its shape and the structure, of which it looks like the small animal, the small mammal that we call it mice. It is seen. Mouse has three major buttons, of which we have the right click and we have also left click. But without forgetting here, the center of these two buttons, there is a wheel, the rolling wheel, that is used to scroll or move the page up or down during operation. We have major two types of mouse. We have, this is according to connectivity. We have the wired mouse, but also we have a wireless mouse. A wired mouse looks like this one, which is connected to the computer by using a cable. But also the wireless mouse, it does not use cable during its connectivity or connection, but it uses the radio waves. Yes, according to operation, here we have three types of mouse. That is according to operation. We have optical mouse, of which it has the sensor here, optical sensor. like this one. When we connect this mouse here, you can see the sensor has lighted up because it uses LED light. This is optical mouse. But we have the second mouse, which is mechanical mouse. Mechanical mouse, this one use the wheel. Here, instead of this optical light, it has the wheel of which it senses the movement of the mouse during the user operation with the computer. But we have number 3, according to operation, we have number 3, which is a touchpad. This touchpad also is the kind of mouse which is mostly fixed in these mobile devices like this laptop, but also this smartphone. Apart from entering data to the computer, mouse are used for pointing different items in the computer, but also they are used in selecting different items in the computer. For example, you want to select a certain file, a certain application, you can use mouse. Yeah, this is the most interesting fact, that the first mouse was made up of wood, and it was invented by the scientist Carl Douglas in 1964.
Another part of the computer hardware, we have the system unit, and here you see this frame, we call it system case. It means inside there we have the other hardware which supposed to be protected with this case. And there we have motherboard, this one, the circuit board, we call it motherboard, mobile in abbreviation. This one, this integrate as a part of the computer, like a processor or microprocessor. This one, CPU itself, very tiny one. This one, it integrated on the motherboard. So this socket for the CPU. Here the CPU integrated on it. Also we have the slots for RAM. We may put RAM here. Motherboard having the slots for inserting RAM, as you can see here. Also we have the ports for connecting other peripheral devices like USB mouse, USB keyboard, VGA. It got ports and all integrated on the motherboards. But some of desktop computers, they got as expansion slot for inserting graphic cards, network card. RAM is working memory of the computer. RAM. So RAM integrated on the motherboard, and also we have ROM on the motherboard. Those are primary storage devices. Also we have secondary storage devices like hard disk, which is found inside the system case. This one, we call it HDD, hard disk drive. Here it stores all the user's data. It found also inside the system case. We have fan here for cooling the system. Another component is that you can find inside the system case. It is called the power supply. The function of it is to convert alternative current into direct current, AC to DC. As we know that computer is an electronic device, it possesses the devices like motherboards that run through electricity, and the other storage devices, processor itself, run by using electricity. So the electricity here is where electricity entered into the computer, and the function of this is to supply electricity all over the parts of the computers, and it converts alternative current into direct current. So we see the system case almost to the desktop computers. This one is visible separately from other parts like monitor, keyboard. But in other devices like laptop, the system unit is here integrated into the device. All parts are integrated together, the same to our smartphones. It having the system unit, and inside the system unit you see there is a motherboard. You also phone possesses that component chip, microprocessor. Even smartphone, laptop, they possess such component. Today we get to know that this one is not a CPU. CPU is this one, very tiny chip. We call it microprocessor, found on the motherboard. Motherboard having the socket for plugging this CPU microprocessor. So this one is the system case. It protects other parts of the computer hardware. So inside there we have motherboard, we have power supply, we have hard disk drive. Those are the parts inside the system case. Later on, we will discuss much about the CPU, what is it, how it works. We will go to see the function of the CPU. So we have covered a lot about computer hardware by definition, by examples, and see these visible ones, which is monitor, keyboard, mouse, and also we see what is inside the system unit. We see other physical components that found inside the system unit, like the motherboard itself, CPU, and the other parts.
Yeah, in the next session we shall see how we connect all these four components: monitor, system unit, keyboard, mouse, and also how to start a computer. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel at JF Tech Hub, but also to like, comment, also share about this video so that you can get more details about computer.
Also, you may follow us in our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. JF Tech Hub. Smart Tech, Smart Life.